have a really hard time with not wanting to hang out with people. Let me explain. Sometimes you meet people and you just get a vibe and immediately you're like, this is somebody I just click with. This is just for whatever reason on a cosmic level, somebody that I just connect with. Like energetically, it feels light, it feels right, it feels good. And then sometimes you meet people who maybe on the surface are like, honestly, super nice, right? But for whatever reason, there's just an energetic disconnect. Okay. And sometimes that's because maybe you're sensing something. Maybe there is weird intentions going on with that person. Maybe they have weird intentions with you, weird motives for wanting to be friends. Maybe you're just getting a sense that their morals or values don't align with yours or like whatever. Like maybe you're too different. Not that you have to have the exact same morals and values, I guess, as your friends. Like, you can disagree on certain things. I think that is totally possible, depending on the things, of course, in how you feel about them. But yeah, I don't think you need to agree 100% about everything with your friends. I guess morals and values are pretty heavy, and maybe it is more important to be aligned on those things. But I think morals and values are vast and cover almost every single topic of life. And I think it's normal and okay to disagree on a few things here and there. But perhaps, when you get a vibe from somebody who maybe seems really wonderful on the surface, but you get a weird vibe, you get an off vibe, could be you sensing that maybe there is a fundamental difference between you two that just wouldn't work. Or like, I don't even know. But sometimes you just get a vibe from somebody and you're like, that just doesn't feel right. Even if they're so wonderful on the surface. And see, I have a really hard time, especially in this very social era of my life where I'm trying to make more friends, trying to be as social as possible because it's really good for me and it makes me feel good and it makes me happy. And that's kind of what life is about. It's about other people. It's about people. I mean, it's about a lot of things, but I think one of the main things is about connecting with people. Like that's one of my favorite things in the whole world, I assume you might agree. I think even introverts find that to be wonderful. I have a really hard time with not trusting my instincts when like I get maybe an off vibe from somebody and maybe I'm like, oh, I don't really like hanging out with them. I don't really know why, but I just don't. I have a really hard time with that. And I feel a lot of guilt and shame about that. And I'll often make plans with people that I maybe get an off vibe from. And then it'll actually cause me a lot of psychological distress. I'll dread the event. I'll get anxious after I hang out with these people because they give me a weird feeling. Perhaps like that's something I really struggle with. And when you're in a social phase of your life, exposing yourself to a lot of different types of people, there are going to be instances where you have conversations with people that maybe give you a slightly off vibe, but maybe they don't get an off vibe from you and they're like, let's hang out. And you don't necessarily know why, but you're like, I don't really want to. I don't really want to. But see, I feel really bad about that. Really bad about that. And that's something that I'm trying to figure out. And I know deep down that there's nothing wrong with just not vibing with somebody. Like that's totally fine. If somebody doesn't vibe with me, I hope that they don't hang out with me. That doesn't bother me. Like if I were to put myself in other people's shoes, right? And if I were to find out that say somebody didn't want to hang out with me. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best feeling in the world, okay? But I can handle that. I don't want anyone to hang out with me unless they really want to. But I feel a lot of guilt and anxiety about maybe starting a friendship and then realizing, you know what? This just doesn't feel right. And then backing off. I feel guilty. I feel like I'm judging this person. Not like I'm saying this person, meaning like that's what I say to myself in my head in that moment. Not saying that there's like one particular person that I'm talking about. Yeah, I feel like I'm being overly judgmental. But also too, I can get anxious about distancing myself from the person and then them in some way retaliating against me, getting upset, getting angry that I didn't follow through on the friendship and perhaps trying to like sabotage me or ruin my life, or like, which is ridiculous. But see, I almost knocked on wood, but I'm trying not to do that anymore because that only makes my OCD worse. Because my OCD gets very superstitious and I'm really trying to like not do that because it only just exacerbates it. So I almost just knocked on wood, and you know what? I'm not doing it. But I think I'm not going to reach my full social potential until I'm not afraid of really standing in that boundary of like, if I don't want to hang out with somebody, I'm not going to do it. And it's no hard feelings. And the vibe can be totally cool and cordial and wonderful if we bump into each other at a party or something. But like, I don't need to be your bestie. I don't need to be everyone's bestie. I can't be everyone's bestie. And vice versa. Not everyone needs to be my bestie. I don't need everyone to like me, you know? And I've accepted the reverse role, but I think I'm afraid of hurting people's feelings and then them like getting angry and trying to sabotage me. Or like if I maybe told them a vulnerable story, them like going and telling everyone, which is a risk. And again, that's another thing I need to work on. It's like, okay, well, I'm such a vulnerable person. Maybe I need to be more mindful about how much I divulge about myself and my feelings and my brain early on into a friendship or relationship, because that only makes this anxiety worse.